much has been hidden from us over this long expanse of our recent American history? How much has been hidden from us? How much corruption? How bad does it have to be that the IRS, which is not a right-wing organization, which is staffed with militant leftists, have to have whistleblowers come forward to say that the corruption is so endemic that I, an IRS agent who probably is not a MAGA hat wearer, probably not like a huge right-winger, I, an IRS agent, have to scream at the top of my lungs to corporate media about the corruption inside of our country. This is how bad it's gotten. The IRS whistleblower, who we have been talking about on this program, who has since this very moment remained anonymous, has come bursting forward and broken their silence. There were multiple steps that were slow walked by the Department of Justice. The IRS whistleblower breaks cover after claiming Hunter Biden was given preferential treatment during tax probe. Gary Sharpley, a 14-year IRS agent, says he immediately saw deviations in Hunter's tax probe investigation when he was assigned the case in January 2020. When I saw the egregiousness of some of these things, it no longer became a choice for me. It had to be something that I do, he says. He also claimed to have faced retaliation from IRS leadership after speaking out, and Hunter's team has accused him of breaking the law. Of course, Gary Sharpley went on CBS News last night and said that he is upholding his oath of office to treat every American the same in his investigation. A brave man who deserves our applause. Go.
When I took control of this particular investigation, I immediately saw it, was way outside the norm of what I've experienced in the past.
Gary Shapley is a supervisory special agent for the IRS, where he's worked for 14 years. In January 2020, he was assigned to what he calls a high-profile investigation. Who's the subject of the investigation?
I can't confirm or deny the subject of this investigation.
Why not?
Because, part of the tax secrecy laws don't allow it.
Shapley can't say it, but CBS News has learned the investigation was the probe of Hunter Biden by the Trump-appointed U.S. attorney in Delaware. Senior Biden administration officials have vowed to let it run its course without interference.
It's not restricted in his investigation in any way.
But CBS News has obtained this letter Shapley's lawyers sent to Congress Monday, alleging irregularities in DOJ's handling of the investigation.
So, okay. What you're hearing here from the IRS whistleblower is that at the DOJ's direction, they are not to go about the regular investigatory patterns for anyone committing tax fraud. What you're hearing is impeachable offenses. The last three presidents that were impeached for obstruction of justice, for using the power of the executive to hide their crimes. This is the beginning of what should be a Joe Biden impeachment march. This is classic obstruction of justice. Watch.
Shapley is seeking legal protections from Congress so he can share specifics of his allegations.
There was multiple steps that were slow walked at the direction of the Department of Justice.
Had you ever encountered that before?
I have not, no. These deviations from normal process, and each and every time it seemed to always benefit the subject.
Yeah, every single time it benefited the Bidens. Isn't it interesting how that works? Interesting how it all works. Chinese spy balloon. It's not in the sky. There's no Chinese spy balloon in the sky. Don't look up. Don't look at the investigations. Don't investigate. You better not investigate, is what they're saying. IRS whistleblower explains why he blew the whistle. This interview is so important. Listen.
Shapley says he decided to blow the whistle after a heated meeting last October with federal prosecutors.
It was my red line meeting. It just got to that point where that switch was turned on, and I just couldn't silence my conscience anymore.
Did you let prosecutors know you were unhappy?
I don't think I can answer that.
Hunter Biden has denied any wrongdoing.
Like civil servants.
The IRS agent told us he is a registered Republican. His whistleblowing is being assisted by an advocacy group with past ties to the GOP. But Shapley says this is not about politics.
Why do you want to navigate these waters?
I don't want to do any of this. I took an oath of office, and when I saw the egregiousness of some of these things, it no longer became a choice for me. It's not something that I want to do. It's something that I feel like I have to do.
When I saw the egregiousness of some of these things, it no longer became a choice for me. It's not something that I want to do. It's something that I have to do. This is the action of a desperate man. This is the action of somebody who is inside of a system that is designed, as we have been covering with the revelations of the Durham report last week, and as we have been covering over the course of, well, the better part of the entire Biden presidency. This is a system that acts as a cancer. It acts in an antibody response to someone like Donald Trump who comes in to try and clean it up. It protects itself. It metastasizes. It strangles out and destroys and kills that which is not of the system. This is the rot at the center of your government. Good people are to be exorcised out of this system, whether it's the military, the FBI, or the IRS. And this is what's going on. Men with consciences and consciences that are violated cannot remain quiet. They have to speak up. They have to tell someone. And now there's more. There's more whistleblowers because this man has been taken off the case entirely. So he came forward, and then there was retaliation against him from inside of the Department of Justice. Where the hell is the GOP on this? I mean, at some point, do we truly live inside of an oligarchy? Do we live inside of a system where there are two governments? One, which we have some small effect on, and then another that sits above that government that is permanent and unelected? Well, the answer is yes. A second IRS whistleblower has come forward indicating that everything that you just heard is indeed happening, and it's even worse. Watch.
A second government worker is alleging wrongdoing in the criminal investigation into Hunter Biden. Correspondent David Spunt is at the Justice Department tonight.
Another IRS whistleblower claims retaliation after speaking up about problems in the Hunter Biden investigation. He wrote late last week to his supervisors, "I have asked for countless of meetings with our chief and deputy chief, often to be left out on an island and not heard from." The new whistleblower joins his boss, who came forward last month alleging the IRS retaliated after he complained about issues including investigation delays. He's expected to testify behind closed doors on the House side at the U.S. Capitol on Friday. The IRS responding to Fox News in a statement, when an IRS employee raises allegations, the commissioner's office does not directly run an investigation, seek the identity of the whistleblower, or similarly intervene. Instead, the IRS supports the Inspector General. IRS Commissioner Daniel Werfel wrote to members of Congress in both parties, "I have not intervened and will not intervene in any way that would impact the status of any whistleblower. But the allegations coming from the IRS in this investigation are unique," according to a whistleblower expert of more than 4 decades.
So you have multiple government officials saying, in summary here, that the DOJ is commanding that they not investigate Hunter Biden, or kneecapping them, chaining them down from the investigation into the president's family. Now, this is a president's family that has an incredibly long history of nefarious behavior. So egregious is this behavior that the Barack Obama White House was flagging it while Joe Biden was vice president? The State Department was saying, what the hell is going on here? Why are they trying to sell out America and American interest in Ukraine? This is Barack Obama's own State Department. Barack Obama's own administration officials are now coming out against Joe Biden. And what do we see here? In this little TikTok, we see the government officials who've been put in charge of this investigation are now removed. They have now had retaliatory measures for speaking the truth. This is a classic obstruction of justice. This is where they get Nixon on. This is where they got Bill Clinton on. This is where they get everyone on. This is where they tried to get Donald Trump on. And hot if Donald Trump was doing this, you can trust DC would be in flames.